was a very tricky movie to sit through. Hey everybody, it's me, Retro Kid Reviews. Welcome back to another movie review. I told you I was going to do one more this week. Terminator Genisys. I caught the 3D showing, and I don't know how to make of it. When I previously reported on the trailers, I thought they were saving what I thought was a really good fan theory. Nah, it turns out it was exactly what we were thinking. I'll get to spoilers in a minute. Annotation summary here to prove that there will be spoilers later on. I'm gonna try to set up. For those who are not in the know, Genisys is pretty much what would happen if, I guess, Terminator 2 cross-fused with the first movie in like a time paradox kind of way, which was the whole setup. Emilia Clarke is Sarah Connor. If you know her from Game of Thrones, you know, the Mother of Dragons and all that. Forgot who played Kyle. I know he was in the last Die Hard that I defended. He was trying to be John's kid. He did a good job as Kyle. He didn't really like overstep his boundaries. He couldn't do a full Michael Biehn because he's still befuddled with what the hell's going on. So it's okay. I didn't mind that. So yeah, like I said, the movie starts off pretty much exactly shot for shot for a while, like the first movie, with like a montage of what was going on in the war so far in 2029. Kyle's childhood during the war. John just coming. Again, this is still telling the first movie, but with like a hint of original footage. Like original like story bits, basically. Like when they're during the conflict, like they'll have like breaks in between their camps and like just talk about what they're gonna do when all this blows over. Yeah, it's things like that. And then they get to the time machine, and I was really trying to pay attention where Matt Smith is, because my fan theory for a while, which is no longer spoilers by the way, I really thought he was like John in disguise. Because if you saw the other promos and stuff, now I'm getting into the spoilers. When Kyle goes through time, Matt comes in and like grabs him and tries to assimilate him, kind of like I guess Star Trek rules with the Borg, or T-1000 rules with 2, or I guess TX with 3. To be like some symbiotic kind of thing. Terminator. I'm just gonna call it Hybrid Terminator until we get a better name somehow. And apparently, like, I guess in Salvation they want to have like one Terminator to pretty much sum up, I guess, Skynet as a whole. And because they're like super pissed of all the times John's been winning, they said, you know what, let's just go back to the time they actually stole one of our time machines and just rig all paradox the crap out of everything. And this is where Schwarzenegger comes in. Again, if you also seen, like, I guess the first half of the first trailer, he comes in, like, the first movie, beating his younger self, which, not gonna lie, was kind of cool. They didn't, like, fully show stock footage, like, have Bill Paxton scene or anything. They actually did not really a remake, like a reenactment of it. The trash guy, you know, when he was going through time, I don't know if that's stock footage or reenactment. I'm gonna have to rewatch that when it's on like Netflix or whatever, just to double check. We're still on Act 1, by the way, because when I get to the like real spoiler stuff, you're gonna get confused. Trust me on that, you're gonna get confused. So if you also remember the first movie, Sarah wasn't like ready to go. She wasn't full Lyndall Hamilton, I'm a badass T2 status. She was like, you know, a waitress. She was still, you know, calm, cool. She still had friends and stuff. And then everything turned to shit in '84. They still did '84. I thought they would have like rigged the timeline a little in the story, like, oh, you're gonna fast forward to like the '90s or whatever. No. They still kept '84. I kind of that's kind of cool. For some fucking reason. And again, you saw in the trailers, she's already T2 status. She's already taken down a T1000. Like, she's been doing it since day one. Apparently, she's been hunted by T1000s her entire life, which is like the new, I guess, paradox status quo. Now I'm getting into the spoilers. Which is a lot of setup for the later acts, to be honest with you. So, basically, older Arnie comes back, like when Sarah was 9, when she was about to get assassinated by not her parents, by another Terminator, and she just got saved by him, and of course it's like younger Arnie, so he's gonna have like a giant ass rocket launcher or whatever. It looked pretty funny to be honest with you. And she just got used to him. Like, there was like crayon drawings for every not every bunker. Yeah, like every shelter or like whatever, like safe house they've been making. She's been like, drawing a lot about the guy. Like, she was like the closest thing to a dad to him. So I'm guessing if you like, 3, what was it? Not Judgment Day. It was. I forgot the name of 3. Oh, Rise of the Machines. Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of canon with the whole eventually a human can actually be cool with a hacked Terminator. If it's been saving your ass way too much, I would too. But Kyle is like, what the fuck am I looking at? Why are you hugging or high-fiving this Terminator of a badass 50 cal kill you just did? Which she did. And she, like, I guess he's trying to represent as we have no idea what the hell's going on, and that, and like somehow, like, to set up, I guess now Act 2, they've been building their own version of a time machine with via 80s tech, since I'm guessing when Sarah was 9, and they've been like, it looks so like bare basic tech, like exposed circuitry, exposed wiring. I'm not a computer major, but I would know that would probably blow up a breaker or two, or cause a citywide blackout the minute they go through. With that said, I like the time machine. It looked a little more, I guess, tangible and more explains the meal downs and all that kind of stuff. They still had to say, oh, no clothes, no nothing, because you're in a nuclear-powered time machine. You're gonna probably blow up a little bit faster. Yeah. What else? Sorry about that, family and stuff. Yeah, like I said, the time travel was kind of a little bit more explaining, especially when Act 3 showed up when they, oh no, we're still in Act 2. Kyle, when the paradox happened, when he was going through the time stream, he kind of got a vivid flash forward of his life before the war, which wasn't really a thing, because before the war, there was no before the war for him. There really wasn't. He grew up after it and everything. Again, watch the first movie for that reference. No, it's like a younger version of him, like in, I guess, 2017, just telling himself in the mirror that Genisys is Skynet. Genisys is Skynet. Genisys is basically, I guess in the present day, is supposed to be like this killer iPhone, I guess like an iPhone killer app, to pretty much basically connect like your phone, your games, your TV, your everything all at once. Which, ABGN kind of reviewed it with one of his executive guys, Mike. Motherfucker Mike, if you've been in the fandom longer like me. And he kind of liked that idea. Like, tech has evolved so much that much connectivity could technically start that. Like, back when Terminator 2 was a thing, the real world scenario of, like, computers taking over nuclear missiles was been a thing since at least the early 80s. And this was one of the many fear factors. Like, the Ruskies take it and we're screwed, or machines take over and kick our ass, or just vice versa. Here, I don't know the message here. I know it's like we're so connected to phones, tech, everything in between that one false step or one hack could make a citywide shutdown or things like that. That's, I guess, the sliver of a message there for the tech portion. Now, there are some humor. Not gonna lie. It did kind of save the movie. Arnold is like, you've seen the trailers, you know he's like an older Terminator because that's what happened when they went to like 2017. It's like, oh, he's gray now. He's basically actual Arnold Schwarzenegger now. It's like we can't dye that hair anymore. No. We're gonna make an excuse. Turns out he ages a little. They can. I'm okay with it. I know there's some hardcore guys that are like, like, there are so many worse things that are confusing me right now. That an older T-800 that can grow, that could like grow his skin to be like an old guy is like the least of my problems. Like, that and Arnold was just doing his thing. Like he never left the role. Mainly because, you know, he had priorities after T3, you know, being the governor and everything. But I don't live in that state. What do I know? Politics aside, yeah, and shit. Here's the thing. Now we're getting into like the last two acts. This is where it's gonna get confusing for both me and you. When Kyle was in like 84 and the T-1000, as you saw in the trailers, was trying to kill him, there was like a beat cop that was trying to arrest him, kind of like in the first movie, and he told him to get down. It's like, oh, you're human. Get the fuck down, there's a Terminator. Get the fuck down. And he's like using their freaking guns and everything, and then you realize, oh, it's 80s revolvers. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, you don't have to be a gun expert to know that revolvers in movies compared to modern day weaponry is gonna take a while to take a guy down. Either you're accurate or not, that's the thing. I'm gonna leave my 2 cents on that. Turns out that's kind of a weird setup for J.K. Simmons, who I thought at first was gonna be Dr. Silverman. If anyone remembers Dr. Silverman from both T1 and 2, and he did a cameo for 3. He was like a criminal psychologist who was like committing anybody he could find during the series. He got Sarah in 2, and man, that was fun. Just telling him everything about Judgment Day. He's not believing a goddamn thing, and it's just hilarious. As a guy who actually has to go to therapy, for like personal reasons, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's always a treat to see that, just to calm me down. It's like, yeah, they don't know shit. Anyway, that aside, Emilia Clarke, I guess I'm gonna call her Game of Thrones name, Daenerys. She did an okay job being Sarah. She's like, I guess more and more I saw it as like an actual age Sarah would be. I don't remember exactly what age Linda Hamilton was, because either way, she could have been college age. She could have, you know, done whatever because she had a job, 9 to 5 and all that. So, when I'm still comparing to the first movie, comparing her to the sequel is kind of hard because she kind of fast forward her entire life to basically go this kind of status. So, you know, it's, I don't know. She was kind of accurate a couple of times during a couple of helicopter fights. That, and I really thought, like, when they were loading up in the 2017 armory, I thought she would understand how, like, red dot sights or modern day, you know, equipment works, or things like that. I thought she would have been, like, a little weirded out going, what the hell is this? Or just something like that. I don't know. Because she's the oldest out of them all, because Terminator's not going to exist until, like, the 2020s. Same with Kyle. At least as a soldier. And, you know, but, she was just sitting in another corner, just listening to her beatbox, I guess. What was it? I think listening to Sedated. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Just prepping the like the next attack plan for Skynet. And Genisys itself did have a villain appearance in the final act, and that's kind of where Matt came in again. I guess in a lot of ways, I think Genisys is supposed to be the whole Terminator the whole time kind of deal, but I guess that's kind of like the reveal thing from Salvation. Can you tell I watched all these movies and Sarah Connor Chronicles? Because they did technically pull Sarah Connor Chronicles move, and they went to 2017. They kind of arrived in the highway. I guess it's like any Game of Thrones actress is gonna be Sarah for now on is gonna be doomed to like take the time machine as a trope and like end up being in the highway, almost getting hit. George isn't even directing this scene, and he's like, "Oh, please die, please die, please die, please die." Like, seriously. Oh, and comment down below if you want me to like review anything from Game of Thrones, because I'm still pissed about Jon Snow. Good luck, Wall. Good luck. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, everything else is just trying to be like 2 at the last minute, like storming the gates of Skynet before launch day of Genisys, take down everything in between, C4 the crap out of the place. Arnie's having a fight with Terminator John, and this is where more spoilers come in. Unless you saw the second trailer, he kinda is like sorta. I don't know how to, again, I can't really describe it. I'm spoiling you it, but it's just hard for me to process. He kind of worded it like he thought it was a way out for the war, but I really think when he was telling, Sarah and Kyle, like, the basic rules of how a Terminator works, like, you can't be bargained with, he can't be reasoned with, he absolutely will not stop until you are dead, but he worded it his way. Like, I can't stop, I will, all that. I really think that was still John in there trying to tell him to get the hell out of there. I really think it. I really do. I don't know. I think I'm like almost 10 minutes in. Last minute thing for the comedy. Arnold was trying to tell Sarah, "Oh, did you mate yet? Did you fuck?" It's like, "No, God, no." That was her. And I was like, if you've seen the first movie, they banged, and I guess now they're also, for some reason, people, when they saw the second movie, was like, "Oh, it wasn't Kyle, it was some other guy." No, it was Kyle. It was Kyle. Somehow, James Cameron liked this movie. He saw it early before everybody else and thought, it's not bad. I can see why, like, if it was like a nostalgia trip to, like, the first 2 movies, I would recommend the movie. If you're a Terminator fan, you're probably already seen this movie and already having a ton of questions of what the machine's next plan or whatever. I don't want to think like that. I know they're trying to do a couple more sequels because Arnold didn't really explain who sent him this time. No one. It was like a classified file. They've been trying to crack it since '84, and it's probably just a setup for a sequel. It was a throwaway line too in the exposition, so I don't know. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Actually, my vlog review of Terminator Genisys. And on a rating scale, I'm just gonna have to say mixed. I'm just mixed. I mean, I'll probably rewatch it. I'll give me a year, and I'll probably try to defend a few spots of it, because there are a good couple of scenes that I would defend. Like the guy that was like the T-1000 for a while, he was cool. He did some good scenes and was like, I guess, fanfic territory. Like, if Tumblr took over a Terminator movie for 20 minutes, basically, without being sensitive. I don't know if the PG-13 rating hurt it. I don't really know. I know I don't want to see Arnie's real ass anymore. I really don't. But whatever. And a fun fact, when T2 came out, it came out in right around that same time too, like July 1st, like during 4th of July weekend. 3 months later, I came into this world. Yeah, September 6th, 1991. So that's how deep I kind of respected the Terminator movies. So I guess with all that no fate but what you make kind of stuff out of the way, this is Retro Kid Reviews, and I spoiled the movie, and I don't even know how to make it the plot. Like, it had good action scenes though. J.K. Simmons was funny. He was trying to be like an investigative cop, trying to understand everything. I might have missed that, but then when you keep going to these spoilers, it's like dumping so much. Anyway, Sharp Shot review this week, and I guess another Toko news. Take care, have a good week, and have a great 4th of July weekend if it hasn't already happened for you yet. Later!